Listen carefully. What I'm about to share with you is not just another idea, not just another motivational phrase. This is something much bigger. The quantum code was just unlocked, and only a very small percentage of people will ever truly understand it. Scientists, mystics, and visionaries have been searching for this hidden truth for centuries, and now it is here, and somehow it has found you. I want you to stop for a moment and really think about this. Of all the billions of people in the world, out of all the countless videos you could have clicked on, you are here, right now. That is not random. That is not coincidence. This is resonance. This is the field pulling you into alignment with a message you were meant to hear. You see, the universe doesn't operate the way we were taught in school. Most people live as if life is a straight line, cause and effect, action and reaction. They believe that reality is solid, fixed, and unchangeable. But quantum science has revealed something radically different, something shocking. Reality is not solid. Reality is energy. It is vibration, it is frequency, and it is waiting to respond to you. This is what I mean when I say the quantum code has been unlocked. It is the understanding that reality is not just happening to you, it is happening through you. Your thoughts, your emotions, your state of being. They are not invisible background noise. They are the very codes that collapse infinite possibilities into the single reality you experience. And here's the part that only 1% of people truly grasp. Most are asleep, repeating the same cycles, living the same patterns, stuck in the same loops. They wake up, they repeat yesterday, and they call it life. But those who access the quantum code, they wake up inside the dream. They realize that what they focus on, they become. What they feel, they attract. And what they believe, they create. This is not just philosophy. Experiments in physics have shown that the observer changes the outcome. Simply paying attention alters the way particles behave. Consciousness itself shapes reality. And if consciousness can change the smallest particle, imagine what it can do with the timeline of your life. So ask yourself right now, what timeline are you living in? One of limitation, of repeating stress, scarcity, and struggle? Or are you ready to unlock the code that shifts you into a completely different experience? One of abundance, of alignment, of possibility? Stay with me, because in the next moments I will guide you step by step into this code. And if you let yourself go beyond skepticism, beyond doubt, if you open even a small door inside of you, you will feel it. You will sense the truth of what I am saying. The quantum code is not far away. It is not hidden in a temple, not locked inside a book. It is inside you. It has always been inside you. And today, it is waking up. Now that you've glimpsed the mystery of the quantum code, it's time to go deeper. To understand why this secret is so powerful, you must first understand the field that surrounds you, the quantum field. Imagine for a moment that everything you see, everything you touch, even your own body, is not solid. At the smallest level, it is vibration, waves of energy. And all of these waves exist inside an invisible ocean of potential, the quantum field. This field is infinite. It holds every possibility, every version of your life, every outcome that could ever exist. And right now, you are inside it. You are never separate from it, not for a single second. Here's the part that changes everything. The field doesn't just exist around you, it responds to you. Your emotions, your thoughts, your state of being are constantly sending out frequencies. Those frequencies ripple into the field, and the field echoes them back in the form of experiences, opportunities, even the people who cross your path. This is why some people move through life with flow, while others feel stuck in loops of struggle. It's not luck, it's alignment. The field mirrors what you broadcast. If you send out fear, fear returns. If you send out gratitude, life responds with synchronicities and doors opening. The quantum code is the key to consciously tuning that broadcast. And since we're talking about signals, Let me pause for something important. If this message resonates with you, subscribe now and hit like. This isn't just for YouTube, it's your signal to the field. Every action is frequency. By subscribing, you anchor this code. By liking, you lock in the energy. Simple, but powerful. Now, back to the field. Picture it as a vast web stretching endlessly in every direction. Every thread is a timeline, a potential version of your life. On one thread, you repeat the past, living the same frustrations again and again. On another, you rise into abundance, freedom, and clarity. Both are real. Both exist. The only difference is which frequency you tune into. You don't step into those timelines by force. You don't push or beg. You shift into them by resonance. Just like a radio doesn't create music but simply tunes to a station already broadcasting, you don't create reality from nothing. You align with the version that already exists in the field. The beauty of the quantum code is that it reveals how simple this can be. You are already broadcasting, already tuning. The question is, are you doing it unconsciously, recycling yesterday's emotions, or are you doing it consciously, aligning with a future you truly want to experience? Remember, the field is always listening. It never stops. And the moment you shift your state, the moment you send a new signal, reality begins to move. That is the essence of the quantum code. Not effort, not struggle, but alignment. One of the most mysterious discoveries of modern science is something so simple and yet so shocking that most people ignore it. The observer changes reality. In physics, this is not a metaphor, it is not a belief. It is an experiment, repeated again and again. The famous double-slit experiment showed that the smallest building blocks of reality behave differently depending on whether they are observed. When no one is watching, particles exist as pure potential, waves of infinite possibilities. But the very moment they are observed, they collapse into one outcome, one path, one reality. Think about that for a second. Reality itself changes because of attention. Consciousness is not passive, it is active, creative, decisive. Your focus has power. Now, most people hear about this and think it only belongs in laboratories, in the world of scientists and microscopes. But the truth is, you are performing the double-slit experiment every single day. Every time you choose where to place your focus, you collapse possibilities into form. When you focus on fear, you collapse fear into your life. When you focus on gratitude, you collapse opportunities and blessings. When you focus on doubt, you collapse delay and frustration. You are not just looking at reality, you are shaping it. This is what makes the role of the observer so profound. You are not separate from the universe. You are a participant in its creation. Every thought, every perception, every belief is like a command, telling the field which version of reality to crystallize for you. Let's make this practical. Imagine waking up in the morning. Before you even get out of bed, your mind begins to run. You think about what might go wrong, the stress you have to face, the people you don't want to deal with. In those moments, you are observing, not neutrally, but through a lens of worry. And guess what? That observation begins to collapse into your day. You find more stress, more resistance, more reasons to confirm the story you're holding. Now picture a different scenario. You wake up and before anything else, you place your focus intentionally. You breathe. You feel the gratitude of simply being alive. You imagine one thing you would love to experience today. And for even 30 seconds, you observe the world through that lens. That observation begins to collapse differently. Suddenly, you notice opportunities you would have missed. A conversation flows easier. Solutions appear where there used to be only problems. Do you see the difference? It's not that one day had more potential than the other. The potential was always there. The only difference was the role of the observer. Your role. Here's the part that only a few people truly grasp. Observation is not just about seeing, it's about how you see. It's about the energy behind your attention. Two people can look at the same situation and collapse completely different realities from it. One sees loss, the other sees growth. One sees failure, the other sees redirection. Same external event, different observer effect. This is why the quantum code emphasizes awareness. Most of humanity is observing unconsciously, letting old patterns, trauma, and programming filter their perception. They're collapsing realities without even realizing they have a choice. But the moment you wake up as the conscious observer, the game changes. You stop collapsing by default and begin collapsing by design. Science has given us the evidence, but experience is the real teacher. If you've ever had a moment where something unfolded exactly the way you feared, you've witnessed the power of unconscious observation. If you've ever noticed synchronicities appear right after you held a clear intention, you've experienced conscious observation. Both are the same mechanism. The only difference is awareness. So let me ask you, how much of your reality is being shaped by unconscious observation right now? And what would happen if, starting today, you became deliberate with your focus? Here's the truth. You don't need to control every thought, that's impossible. But you can choose what you return to, again and again. You can choose your dominant focus. That is where your greatest power lies. The field doesn't respond to random noise, it responds to consistent frequency. And that frequency is built through repeated observation. You've heard the saying, energy flows where attention goes. But here's the deeper layer. Reality forms where observation flows. Every time you place your awareness intentionally, you are programming the code of existence itself. So as we move forward, keep this in mind. The quantum code isn't about believing harder or wishing more. It's about remembering who you are, the observer. Not a passive witness, but an active creator. The field is waiting. Infinite possibilities are waiting, and your focus is the key that decides what collapses into your timeline. The question is not whether you are observing. The question is, what are you choosing to see? One of the most powerful and often overlooked truths about the quantum code is this. Your body is not just flesh and bone. Your body is your subconscious mind. Biologists like Dr. Bruce Lipton have shown us that up to 95% of our daily actions, reactions, and choices come from unconscious programs stored in the body. That means only about 5% of the time are you truly thinking your way through life. The rest is automatic, habits, reactions, emotional memories replaying themselves. This is why change feels so difficult for most people. They say they want something new, but their body is addicted to the old. They think of abundance, but their body is programmed for scarcity. They imagine love, but their body is wired for fear and rejection. The conscious mind dreams, but the subconscious body decides. Think about it like this. Your body is a recording device, and it has been recording since the moment you were born. Every time you experienced stress, every time you felt joy, every time you repeated a behavior, your body took note. It doesn't store it as memory in the way your brain does. It stores it as chemistry, hormones, neurotransmitters, muscle tension, even the rhythm of your heartbeat. So when you wake up each morning, your mind might say, "Today will be different." But the body wakes up and whispers, "No, today will be the same." I already know how to feel. I already know how to react. And because the body has memorized your past, it pulls you back into familiar emotions. Anxiety, frustration, anger, doubt. This is why so many people feel trapped. They're not victims of the world outside. They're prisoners of the world inside, a world encoded in the body. But here's the secret. The body's programming is not permanent. Just like a computer can be reprogrammed, the subconscious mind can be rewritten. This is part of the quantum code, learning how to bring the body into alignment with the vision of the future instead of the memory of the past. How does this happen? Through repetition, through emotion, through new states of being. When you practice gratitude daily, your body begins to memorize it. When you sit in stillness and breathe into calm, your body learns safety. When you visualize a future and combine it with elevated emotion, your body starts to experience that future as if it's happening now. And remember, the field doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to the signal you broadcast. That signal comes from coherence between mind and body. If your mind says, I am abundant, but your body feels lack, the field hears lack. If your mind says, I am love, but your body feels fear, the field hears fear. The key is embodiment, aligning thought and feeling until they no longer contradict, until the body stops living in yesterday and begins living in tomorrow. Let's make this very real. Imagine someone who was betrayed in the past. The conscious mind says, I want to trust again. But the body, it remembers the pain. It flinches at closeness. It tenses at vulnerability. That person might meet someone wonderful, but the body broadcasts fear, and the field reflects that fear in experiences of distance, conflict, or disappointment. Now picture that same person doing the work. Each day, they sit quietly, place a hand over their heart, and breathe into a state of safety. They imagine being loved, and they allow themselves to feel it fully, as if it is real now. Slowly, the body learns a new chemistry. Fear gives way to trust, pain gives way to peace, and the signal they broadcast shifts. The field responds differently. People, opportunities, synchronicities align. This is why healing is such a crucial part of manifestation. You can't just think your way into a new life. You must train your body to feel it, to live it, to embody it. When you realize your body is your subconscious, everything changes. You stop fighting with willpower and start working with energy. You stop blaming the world and begin reprogramming your inner signals. And here's the beauty. Your body doesn't care how long you've been stuck. It responds the moment you give it a new pattern consistently. It only knows chemistry, repetition, and emotion. Feed it a new state long enough, and it will become your new baseline. This is the quantum code in action. Your body is not your enemy. It is your ally. It is the transmitter of your reality. And when you teach it to align with your highest vision, the field has no choice but to collapse into that reality. So ask yourself now, what programs has your body been running on repeat? And more importantly, are you ready to teach it something new? When people first hear about the quantum code, they often ask, but how do I actually tune into it? The answer is simple, but deeply profound, through coherence between your heart and your brain. Science has shown us that your brain is not the only command center in your body. Your heart has its own nervous system, with over 40,000 neurons, a brain within the heart. It communicates directly with your brain, sending signals that influence your emotions, your decisions, even the way you perceive reality. The HeartMath Institute has spent decades studying this connection. What they discovered is astonishing. When your heart and brain are out of sync, your body produces chaotic signals, stress, confusion, fear, doubt. They create incoherence. In that state, the field around you reflects turbulence. Life feels like resistance, like friction, like running uphill. But when your heart and brain move into harmony, something extraordinary happens. Your body produces a smooth, ordered rhythm. Your electromagnetic field expands. You literally broadcast a stronger, clearer signal into the quantum field. That signal is what I call the dial of the quantum code. Think about it. If the field is like a vast radio of infinite stations, coherence is how you tune the dial precisely. Without coherence, your broadcast is fuzzy, scattered, filled with static. With coherence, the message is clear, and the field responds accordingly. So how do you create this coherence? The answer is not complicated. It begins with awareness and breath. Let's try something simple right now. Place your attention on your heart. Slow your breathing, in through the nose, out through the mouth. As you do this, bring up a feeling of gratitude or appreciation, something that makes your heart feel warm. It could be a memory, a loved one, even the simple fact that you are alive in this moment. As you breathe and feel, your heart begins to shift its rhythm. The brain responds. Suddenly, body and mind are no longer fighting each other. They're working together. This is coherence, and in coherence, the field around you changes. Researchers have measured this electromagnetic field extending several feet beyond the body. But spiritually, we know it goes much further. You are literally influencing reality with the frequency you are producing. Here's the part that's often missed. It's not about forcing your thoughts. It's about aligning your feelings. When your mind says, I am abundant, but your heart feels lack, the signal is incoherent. But when your mind says, I am abundant, and your heart feels gratitude as if abundance is already here, the signal is unified. That is when the quantum code activates. This is why some people affirmations never work. They repeat words, but the heart isn't involved. The field doesn't respond to words. It responds to resonance. And resonance is powerful. When two instruments are in tune, they vibrate together. When one tuning fork vibrates, another nearby begins to vibrate at the same frequency. This is resonance. The same principle applies to you and the quantum field. When your heart and brain resonate, the universe resonates with you. Let me give you a picture. Imagine two people walking into a room. One is stressed, incoherent, chaotic. Everyone feels it. The room becomes heavy. The other walks in calm, coherent, centered. People feel peace. Conversations flow. Doors open. This is not magic. It is frequency, and coherence is the source. Now imagine applying that not just to a room, but to your entire life. Each day, beginning with coherence. Each day, broadcasting a clear, unified signal into the field. What would reality mirror back to you? Opportunities, healing, unexpected breakthroughs. The truth is, coherence is a practice. You don't master it in a single attempt. But the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. And soon, coherence stops being something you do and becomes who you are. This is the secret most never learn. You don't manifest by forcing reality. You manifest by tuning into it. Coherence is how you tune. Coherence is how you speak the language of the quantum field. So remember this. Every time you bring your heart and brain into harmony, you are not just calming yourself. You are aligning with the code. You are strengthening your signal. You are shaping the reality that will meet you tomorrow. And the best part? It's already inside you. The dial is there, waiting. All you have to do is turn it. For years, countless books and videos have repeated the same message. Just think positive, and the universe will give you what you want. This is what most people call the law of attraction. On the surface, it sounds simple, even magical. But here's the truth that few dare to admit. For most people, it doesn't work. Why? Because reality does not respond to empty thoughts. It responds to frequency. Let me explain. Imagine someone who wakes up each day repeating, "I am wealthy. I am wealthy." They say the words, but inside, their body feels stress. Their stomach is tight, their chest is heavy, their mind is running with fear about bills and debts. What signal is the field really receiving? Not wealth, but lack. Not abundance, but fear. This is the mistake of the law of attraction as it is commonly taught. It reduces manifestation to words and surface-level thoughts. But the quantum field does not listen to the words. It listens to the state behind them, the alignment or misalignment between the mind and the body. You cannot think one thing and feel another and expect the universe to respond to what you say. It will always respond to what you are. This is why so many people grow frustrated. They try vision boards, affirmations, endless positivity, but nothing changes. They don't realize their body is still programmed to yesterday's emotions. Their subconscious is broadcasting the opposite signal, and the field simply mirrors it back. The quantum code works differently. It is not about forcing happy thoughts or pretending everything is fine. It's about coherence. When thought and emotion unite, the signal becomes powerful, clear, undeniable. Think of it this way. If your mind is the script, your heart is the actor. A script without an actor is meaningless. Words without feeling are empty. But when the script and the performance unite, the message becomes real, alive, magnetic. So the real error of the law of attraction is not that it's wrong, but that it's incomplete. It shows you the surface, but not the depth. It points to the truth, but misses the code. When you understand the quantum code, you realize manifestation isn't about pretending. It's about embodying. It's not about thinking positive. It's about aligning thought and feeling until they resonate as one. That is the frequency the field responds to. So let this be clear. Stop forcing yourself to think positive while your body still feels negative. Instead, train your body to feel the future you desire. Practice gratitude, presence, and coherence until your emotions match your vision. When that happens, manifestation stops being a struggle. It becomes natural. Because in the end, the universe does not give you what you say. It reflects what you are. Up to this point, you've learned that the quantum field is always responding to your signal. You've learned that your thoughts alone are not enough. It is the union of thought and feeling that creates coherence. But here is the most important step. If your body has been programmed by years of stress, fear, or limitation, how do you change the signal you are sending? The answer is simple, but not always easy. You reprogram your frequency. Think of yourself like a radio. For years, you may have been tuned to a station of scarcity, struggle, or doubt. That station plays the same songs, the same emotions, the same experiences on repeat. And yet, just as a radio can change its dial, so can you. The key is learning how to interrupt the old broadcast and train your body and mind to transmit something new. The first step is awareness. You cannot change what you don't notice. Pay attention to the emotions you live in every day. Do you wake up in anxiety? Do you carry frustration? Do you fall asleep in worry? These are signals. They are the invisible broadcasts shaping your reality. Becoming aware of them is like finally seeing the code you've been unconsciously running. The second step is interruption. When you catch yourself in the old pattern, stress, anger, fear, pause. Take a breath. Place a hand on your heart. Even 3 slow breaths can interrupt the chemical cascade of stress and create space for something new. This pause is powerful. It tells your body, we are not running the old program anymore. The third step is replacement. Nature hates a vacuum. If you remove an old pattern but don't replace it, your body will fall back into the familiar. This is where the practice of elevated emotions comes in. Gratitude, love, joy. These aren't just nice feelings. They are frequencies. They are the language the field understands. So, after interrupting the old state, choose one elevated emotion to embody. Don't just think it. Feel it. Imagine a moment in your life where you felt true gratitude. Relive it. Let your body remember it. As you do, you are teaching your body to feel differently. With practice, the body memorizes this new state. It becomes natural. The fourth step is visualization with feeling. Most people visualize incorrectly. They imagine what they want, but they feel the lack of it. That is incoherence. The correct way is to imagine your future and combine it with the emotion of already having it. See yourself living the reality you desire and feel gratitude as if it is happening now. This creates a signal that is strong, unified, magnetic. The fifth step is repetition. The subconscious learns through repetition and emotion. One elevated meditation will shift your state temporarily, but repeated practice rewires the code. Day after day, you are carving new neural pathways, creating new emotional set points, building a new frequency until it becomes your baseline. And here's the beauty. The field responds along the way. You don't have to wait years for change. Even small shifts in your frequency begin to draw synchronicities, signs, and new opportunities. Each confirmation strengthens your belief, and your belief deepens your embodiment. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone who has lived in fear for years. Their body is addicted to stress hormones. Their frequency tells the field, danger, limitation, survival. They begin the process of reprogramming. Each morning they sit quietly, breathe into coherence, and feel gratitude. At first it feels strange. Their body resists, but with practice, the body learns. One day they feel genuine calm. Another day they feel a wave of joy without reason. Then, something unexpected happens in their life. An opportunity, a conversation, a door opening. This is the field responding to the new signal. Reprogramming your frequency is not pretending. It is not ignoring reality. It is choosing to no longer let old emotions decide your future. It is training your body to feel what your future already holds and letting the field mirror it back. So ask yourself now, what frequency have you been broadcasting unconsciously? And what frequency do you choose to broadcast from this moment on? Because the truth is simple. You are the programmer. The code is inside you. And the moment you decide to change your frequency, you change the reality you collapse into. The quantum code is not theory. It is not something abstract or distant, locked away in books or spoken only by scientists and mystics. It is alive, practical, and already shaping the lives of those who learn to tune into it. When people begin to understand how to broadcast a new frequency, their lives change in ways that seem almost impossible to explain through logic alone. But once you see the pattern, you realize it is not coincidence. It is coherence. It is resonance. It is the field responding with perfect precision. Think about the people who have lived for years in scarcity, constantly struggling with money, always feeling that no matter how hard they worked, it was never enough. Their bodies memorized stress and survival, and their frequency broadcasted fear of lack into the field. Life mirrored it back, keeping them locked in the same cycle. But then something shifted. They began to pause. They breathed differently. They practiced gratitude not for money itself, but for the smallest details of life: a roof overhead, the warmth of a meal, the light of the morning sun. Slowly, their frequency changed. Stress softened. Gratitude became their new baseline. And then the field answered. Unexpected opportunities appeared. Bills were covered in surprising ways. Doors opened where before there were only walls. They did not fight harder for abundance. They tuned into it. The same pattern shows itself in those who carry pain from the past. Some have lived through betrayal, heartbreak, disappointment, and their bodies memorized fear. They told themselves they wanted love, but deep down, every cell carried the vibration of mistrust. Without realizing it, they sent the field a signal that said, "I am not safe, I cannot open my heart." The field, faithful as always, mirrored back that very signal, bringing partners who repeated the same story, situations that confirmed the old belief. But then, with courage, they decided to change. Instead of waiting for someone outside to bring them love, they chose to generate it inside. They sat in stillness, placed a hand on their heart, and imagined what it would feel like to be cherished, to be supported, to be whole. At first, the body resisted, clinging to old pain, but with practice, something shifted. The body began to relax, to trust, to believe again. And when that inner broadcast changed, reality followed. Relationships formed that reflected safety, kindness, and depth. Love did not arrive from outside, it bloomed from within, and the universe simply reflected it back. There are also those who felt trapped in stagnation, repeating the same routines day after day, believing that purpose and fulfillment were for other people. Their energy was resignation. Their bodies had memorized boredom, frustration, even hopelessness. But one decision changed everything. They chose to stop waiting for circumstances to shift before they did. Each morning, they visualized themselves living with purpose, teaching, creating, leading, building, whatever their soul longed for. And more importantly, they allowed themselves to feel the joy of it as if it were already happening. At first, it was imagination, but then the body learned the feeling. Excitement replaced dullness. Confidence replaced resignation. Soon after, the field responded. Invitations arrived, ideas flowed, opportunities that had never been visible suddenly appeared. Purpose was not delivered by chance, it was unlocked by frequency. These are not isolated miracles, they are not rare exceptions, they are the natural results of tuning into the quantum code. The steps are always the same: awareness of the old signal, a conscious decision to shift, practice until the body memorizes the new state, and the field echoing it back with accuracy. The faces and details change, but the pattern does not. And now, the question is not about their stories. The real question is about yours. Because as you hear these words, perhaps you recognize yourself. Perhaps you have lived in scarcity, or carried the weight of heartbreak, or felt stuck in routines that suffocate your purpose. Maybe you've wondered if things can ever change, and the answer is yes. The field does not discriminate. It does not choose favorites. It responds to the frequency you choose to embody. The quantum code is not waiting in the future, it is active in this moment. The only difference between repeating yesterday and stepping into tomorrow is the broadcast you decide to send. So as you listen to these stories, do not see them as distant. See them as mirrors, as reminders of what is possible when you align with the field. Because the truth is, the next story waiting to be told is yours. We have spoken of the quantum code. We have explored the field, the role of the observer, the body as the subconscious, and the power of coherence. But knowledge without embodiment is incomplete. Now it is time to activate. This is not something you watch with your mind alone. This is something you must feel with your whole being. So I invite you now to pause. Wherever you are, allow yourself a moment of stillness. Sit comfortably. Rest your hands on your lap or gently over your heart. Close your eyes if you can, and begin to notice your breath. Don't force it. Simply watch it. Inhale slowly through the nose, and exhale gently through the mouth. Again, inhale deeply, filling your chest with air, and exhale, releasing tension with the sound of your breath. With every inhale, imagine you are drawing energy from the field around you. With every exhale, imagine releasing the weight of your past. Breathing in possibility, breathing out limitation. Breathing in alignment, breathing out resistance. Now bring your awareness to your heart. Feel its rhythm, noticing how in this very moment it beats faithfully, carrying life through every part of your body. Imagine, just for a moment, that your breath and your heartbeat are beginning to move in harmony, like two instruments playing the same song. This is coherence. As you breathe, I want you to bring up a feeling of gratitude. Not an abstract idea, but something real. Think of a moment that made your heart swell. A smile from someone you love, the beauty of the sky at sunset, the simple miracle of being alive right now. Allow that feeling to expand in your chest. Gratitude is the door to the field. Gratitude is the frequency that unlocks the code. Now, as you hold this state, I want you to imagine your future, not as something far away, but as something already here. What is one thing your soul longs for? See it in your mind. Picture yourself living it. Feel the details, the colors, the sounds, the sensations. Most importantly, let your body feel as if it is happening now. The smile on your face, the relief in your heart, the joy in your chest. Say silently to yourself, I am ready. Repeat it. I am ready. Each time you say it, imagine those words are sending a frequency into the field, broadcasting like a signal into the vast ocean of possibility. With each repetition, the signal grows stronger, clearer, undeniable. Stay with the feeling. Your mind may want to wander, your body may want to resist. That's normal. But gently return to the vision and the gratitude. Remember, you are not pretending. You are tuning. You are aligning. You are becoming the frequency of your desired future. Now, visualize a golden light around your heart. With each breath, see it expanding, first filling your chest, then your whole body, then radiating outward, creating a field around you. This light is your broadcast. It is the signal the quantum field is responding to in this very moment. You don't need to force it. You don't need to control it. Just let it expand, naturally, effortlessly. For the next few moments, breathe in this light, breathe out this light, and repeat silently in your mind. The quantum code is active in me now. My reality has already shifted. Feel it, believe it, embody it. And now, as you slowly return your awareness to this moment, know this. What you just did was not imagination. It was creation. You sent a signal into the field, and the field never ignores a signal. Seeds have been planted. Frequencies have been tuned. Timelines are moving. Take a final deep breath. Exhale slowly. Open your eyes. Remember how you feel. Hold on to it. Because this state is your access point. This is how you return to the code, again and again. The quantum code is not something outside you. It is within you. And now it is active. If you are still here, listening to these words, it is not an accident. Out of all the countless choices you could have made today, you chose this moment. You arrived here. And I want you to know, the quantum field responds to decisions like this. It responds to presence, to attention, to intention. The very fact that you are here means the code is already moving within you. Think back to what you've experienced so far. You have learned that reality is not solid, that the observer shapes what unfolds, that your body carries the subconscious programs that repeat your past, and that coherence between your heart and brain becomes the dial that tunes you to new possibilities. You have seen the difference between empty thoughts and true alignment. You have even stepped into activation, broadcasting a signal directly into the field. In this moment, you are no longer the same person who pressed play at the beginning. Something has shifted. The question now is simple. Will you continue? Will you allow this awareness to become your new baseline, or will you let the old patterns pull you back into yesterday's frequency? The choice belongs to you, and only you. The quantum code is not a one-time experience. It is a way of being. Each time you choose gratitude over fear, coherence over chaos, presence over distraction, you are tuning the dial again and again. Each time you return to the state you felt in the activation, you strengthen the new broadcast, and the field always answers, always. But here is the secret many forget. To anchor a new reality, you must declare it. You must send a signal, no matter how small, that tells your mind, your body, and the universe, I am ready. That declaration is not just symbolic, it is powerful. It locks in what you have begun here. So I want you to do something right now. In the comments below, write these simple words. I am ready. That's it. Just 3 words. Short, but magnetic. Because when you type them, you are not only leaving a comment, you are anchoring your intention into the field. You are declaring that you are prepared to step fully into the quantum code. And every time you see those words, you will remember the frequency you felt in this moment. And while you do that, I want you to take one more action. It is simple, but important. Subscribe to this channel now, not just so you don't miss the next video, but because subscribing is another declaration. It's not random, it's resonance. Every subscription is you telling the field, I choose to stay aligned with this frequency. I choose to keep tuning into the code. Hitting that button is more than support. It is a signal, it is energy, and it matters. So don't forget. Comment, I am ready. Subscribe. These are not just actions, they are alignment. They are the final keys that turn what you have learned into a lived experience. And as you do, remember this. The quantum code is already unlocked. It has been unlocked from the beginning. The only thing that ever stood in the way was awareness. And now you have that awareness. You know that the field is alive, that it listens, that it mirrors back exactly what you broadcast. You know that you are not a victim of circumstance. You are the observer, the transmitter, the creator. The stories of scarcity turning into flow, of fear turning into love, of stagnation turning into purpose. They are not distant tales. They are previews of what is possible for you. Your life is the next story waiting to be told, and it begins not tomorrow, not someday, but right now, in the state you choose to hold in this moment. So take a deep breath. Feel the energy in your heart. Remember the words, I am ready. Let them echo inside you as you take these simple actions to anchor your choice. Comment, subscribe, align. Because the truth is simple. You were brought here for a reason. You heard this message for a reason, and the field has already begun responding. The code is unlocked, your reality is shifting, and the only step left is yours.